Why, hello, hello, hello! Hello and welcome! You all know what day it is. It is Tuesday, July 14th, 2015. In the brain of the soul of the heart of Eugene, Oregon. Here on another Tuesday night poetry. Oh yes. Have you heard of any other Tuesday night poetry events? No. Fuck no. Because this is it. The best, the brightest, the most random and romantic, enlightening and heartfelt, tragic and dark, hilarious and visual. I don't think I could list all the places this, thing is in this place, in this thing. Yes, for me and for you, the blessed audience, you and I are here to see it happen. This new growth, this expansion pack of the creative self. Here it comes, live on YouTube, on a channel in the deep suburbans of the mind's inner flippy switch. It's page 2 poetry at Cush. I am James Otter, your host and sunburned sweaty overlord. And this is my colleague Andrew. Get your ass up here, man. You're making me look bad. Oh yes, he helps me out a lot. He's a great dude.
I too am very sunburned.
It's okay. It's sad. Oh yes, oh yes. July has been here, and it seems the sun is pissed off or super excited. Here we are. And this is just not any poetry either. It's the most action-packed poetry slam in the history of fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Oh yes. Oh yes. You couldn't pay for entertainment this good because it's fucking free. Enough about us. Tonight, the special guest is you. All of you. Yes. Oh yes. Who come each and every week and some for the first time. Y'all make this happen. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. And thank you. For you new people here who are performing, you get 8 minutes. All works must be original. And by getting up on this stage, you consent to be live streamed onto page 2's YouTube channel. Oh yeah, we got a YouTube channel. Yes. Yes, if you like high definition poetry, you have to come in person because you get the lo-fi if you're watching online. That's how it goes. I don't edit for content, but I also don't allow racism or homophobia, sexism, or derogatory attacks.
None of that shit!
On anybody who comes here. This is all obvious. And back to 8 minutes. Yeah, if you go over your 8 minutes, my darling Bridget, please hand me my time grenade.
Time grenade.
Yes, you go over 8 minutes. You get this lovely 30 seconds of time to finish your poem, and then this, you hear that, obnoxious little ring. That one. There's a little sample for you. Anyway.
Anyone can go over time. It's really no big deal. You will just be taken off the stage. It's fine, really. It's totally okay, but, just get off respectfully when the buzzer goes.
You give us any lip about it, though, we might take you out other ways. I'm just kidding. I'd never do that to anyone. Wink, wink. Anyway, we have a special announcement from Mr. Stephen Blue. Stephen, please come to the stage.
Come on, Stephen!
And then a new poem.
Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I've been here at Cush. I've been busy working on festivals and other things that I do for poetry, and that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I'm C. Stephen Blue, and I'm one of the Cush poets, but I'm also an event producer and host. And I am again this year going to be producing and hosting the poetry stage at the Festival of Eugene in August 21 through 23. The Festival of Eugene is completely free and local. It features like 4 stages of music, over 50 bands, 300 performers, a kids zone, an art zone, a car show, beer gardens, food and wine. I mean, everything you can think of at Skinnerview Park on the river. And last year, I invited all the Cush poets to come out and read. And Andrew was there, and Candace, they're going to be there again this year, helping me set up and tear down each day. And kind of what the Cush poets do is we kind of all like hang out, and when there isn't a scheduled reader in the open times, we just kind of get up and improvise and read and perform and do kind of what we do here.
Can we get on the schedule?
Yes, you can do that too. So what I would like to do right now is officially put out the invite to all of you, to all the Cush poets, to come and read at the poetry stage this year again. And if you want to be a featured reader, the key is you must contact me so I can get you on the schedule and and give you details and send it to you and stuff. So I have some flyers. If you want to take part in the festival this year, be sure and get a flyer from me. It has all my contact information. And be sure and contact me and come and have some fun and be part of it. Okay? Yeah. All right.
I just want to say I went last year and it was fucking awesome. It was really cool, and the whole crew that was here last year went. And Steven's great, and because of him, we got to read there, and we got to do readings at the library and all kinds of shit. So Steven's cool. Hook up with him if you can.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, and it's free. Unlike that money-grabbing Eugene celebration thing. Yeah, no, this is a real festival for Eugene. Talk to Steven for more information. But for now...
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. One more thing.
One more thing?
I am so sorry, James.
Oh, man.
I forgot. And this is really important because this year I've decided to include a youth reading, young writers. So on Sunday afternoon from noon to 2, we're going to have what is called a youth writers event. The first hour will be young writers featured, and the second hour will be a young writers open mic. So if you know any kids or any friends that have kids, kindergarten through 12th grade, K-12, we want to get them to come and express themselves. So I have some flyers about that too.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steven. And now for a brand new poem from your sunborn, sweaty, evil overlord that is me. I like to make a re-entrance. What happens when a bunch of sweaty idealists get lost in the woods? A festival dedicated to the big questions? I can say this much. It was far out, beyond the back roads of humanity's invisible people. Maybe I was a little better, a mile past over being lost. I was way over being lost. I was done. The weed smoke alerts the DEA, and of course the Navy. Campfire made entirely out of burning dreadlocks, and we are sharing poisonous cucumber salves made locally. The salve stings and makes my nose fall off. Discussing the nature of our own chakras and bodhisattvas, raised in the Bronx, raised at Woodstock, raised on hemp flakes and non-bleached flour, raised on a healthy diet of patchouli milk and cocoa butter cookies in the real woods, where the antelope can run them through. They suddenly wish they had taken a second to listen to the controversial Republican survivalist teacher from high school. No, just this mic. It's not very comfortable.
Do it. Is that part of the poem?
There we go.
It's part of the poem.
Yeah, it's part of the poem. No. No, it's not part of the poem. I didn't write that down earlier. All right. Okay, they suddenly wish they had taken a second to listen to the controversial Republican survivalist teacher from high school, instead of skipping all those classes. With nothing to trade but a few shiny rocks, Pacific great white sharks swim upstream on the hunt for smelly free spirits. The stink of the sharks smelled in a gata de vida. Iron butterflies push the trippy hallucinations to a close before the acid snow melts through the old growth forest. And I am watching this in real time. HD, televised reality TV, naked people vision. Because taking off your boots for the first time is not rebellious, it's just going to bed. That's when I take my boots off. And bed is not the ground when you're not afraid to gather fronds and branches. Lay my furious fur coat down, a blanket in a sandstorm. I stick pine cones in my ears because I graduated from community college years ago. And Jerry Bear's dead. The real bear thrashed through the blueberry bushes. Thrashed through. That's hard to say. Everybody try and say it. Thrashed through. Now try and say it fast. Yeah, no, you can't, can you? Black fur covered in brambles and neo-eugenic philosophers' blood. I knew what to do. Hug a tree, hugged in half by a bear. Everybody except me reincarnated as granola. And then as an argument between rational and obnoxious, a hunter sees the bear in danger of having to listen to another discussion about the 1960s and civil rights and milk and Gandhi and Jack Kerouac and Deuteronomy and Snoopy and getting stoned. And that one time they met the Dalai Lama, Jesus, and fish all in the same night. And that time they sit in on President Bush, who is still president and never changed being president. And 911 was a conspiracy. And how by even disagreeing with them even remotely, I am part of the problem. And how if we were at home right now, they could make weed Rice Krispie treats and read Socrates or Plato or Friedrich Nietzsche and look at Andy Warhol's picture of canned soup. And I wouldn't understand. Not if I was born with 19,000 heads and a butt made out of brains. And that they think they were drunk and lost in the woods. And that other time they broke into a pharmacy. I guess some of them were tweakers. And all these other famous peaceniks, neatniks, beatniks, writers, philosophers, and poets, ending the bear's suffering with 10 shots of buckshot. I laid down, cleaning my wounds with tainted river water. The earth wants to save itself from aggressive pacifists. I pass the fist. Through 10 yards of dreadlocks, come alive with the curse of the mountain, and the hunter glows. The hunter glows and blows a hole in my leg. The last hippie tells me we are close to the great fair and scans the air with quartz crystal obelisks she spent $50 on at a local rock show. And it does nothing for my wound. But I can't convince her, so I lie and tell her the river has been blessed by the sacred dolphin lord of hope. And she wades closer to the river, to the center. The center. All wrongs will be righted. Eventually, the hunter comes again with a big bulky beard and NRA brand machine gun in hand, Doc Martens and little swivel chairs. He reminds me I am in Douglas County, and he is legally required to shoot me. Whatever, as long as I don't have to listen to another screaming rant about the government and pot brownies or getting drunk to function, I am set. Or Jerry Garcia, or Carlos Mencia, or any of it, because disagreement is not bad karma. It's just human nature. Woo! Thank you. And now yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah. Not to ruin your fun, but I kind of crapped that one out in like 20 minutes. Anyway, now for a poem from my dear friend, Mr. the Reverend Andrew Gonzalez.
A treatise on perception, written today sober. The The real world is not a realm the human eye is formed to see. Though the intricate complexity reveals a solid vision, since eyes traverse the coves and curvatures with unconscious intentions hidden from themselves. Then what is sight but a kind of mirror to self? The world is beautiful. We are beautiful. The world is ugly. We are ugly. The world is sinful. We are sinful. The world is holy. We are holy. We cannot say the world is this and therefore we are that. Or we are this, therefore the world is that. As if from us, to us, through us, or from there, through there, and back. For the spectrum of perception cannot perceive, but only go on, subjectively on looking out into this canopy, where ancients saw the sky and stars and beheld the constellations, and yet the clusters of light arrayed displayed in heaven what earthen creatures were ready to behold. Yet would the creatures be different creatures with foreign features and facilities, and would the world be a foreign world by nature's selection of various abilities, the creatures would picture time and space and God quite differently. And this world does in fact exist already, for on earth are many a habitat and niche, represented by the plenitude of cultures and ecosystems fitted, forests and deserts, gated communities and ghettos, where many selves are fit to fit, worlds inside of worlds, and us inside each world, often straddling a few, where I mindlessly squash an ugly ant. So then this truth is here in each critter, deigned a beast or nuisance, by man condemned to only understand what a man can comprehend. Therefore, philosophers and theologians divide what has a soul and what has not got a soul, attempting to accomplish the intellectual pleasure of cohesion and division. Ah, it feels so good to think we got it right, when for bias for our lot we think not of if we ought. Consider this a fallacious semantic construct set for naught, because we do not speak the tongues of the tribal totem pole, because we do not even speak the tongues of all the diverse peoples on the earth, unable to fathom just how each baby birthed in the river of language must follow the markers to the sea and find the origin of sight before the eye, and the truth before the word, as babies shoot forth from the procreative factory of species. Everyone with certain abilities and disabilities, each person endowed, gifted, cursed, robbed, ahead of time and predetermined. Choice is a phenomena we perceive, but so is the domino trail of our lives in history, as we search and find and go back to search again. Somewhere the mistake was given, that the point of searching was to find, or also oppositely, that the point of the journey was the journey. As if you could point to the point and say, ah, there it is, now I'm satisfied. I see the point, the jagged edge upon which the crucifix and all this suffering is justified. No, no, you must realize that there is nothing to realize. Though Satori repenting and speaking in Pentecostal tongues is sure a lot of fun. Though there is this truth on the spectrum of perception called psychedelic enlightenment. None of this sums it up, and none of this stretches far enough, and none of this sees it all, and forsooth, condemned by our finitude, we think magical thoughts to cast spells upon our magical minds, thrown about by the waves of fear and hope, whereabouts beliefs are born, and many a hearsay miracle. And now the blind go on being blind, and the deaf go on being deaf, and the maimed, the impotent, the retarded, the crazy, stuck like this, having become what we cannot stop being. Considering I have heard many preachers tell many stories, but not one produced a real miracle to heal the physically broken as services went on and on excitedly, part of the audience sitting patiently in their wheelchairs as the revivalist masturbates faith out of the Gospels, accompanied by a sign language interpreter for the deaf. This signifies something to me, and I may only speak for myself. Mind over matter only goes so far. I use my mind, and yet I know matter will get me in the end. I anticipate this. I purify myself of longing and of dread for it, and yet I see only one miracle, for lack of a better term, for what I cannot explain. Matter and mind are part of one another. I am a part of the world, and the world is a part of me. Though the partitioning is like the rivers flowing one direction toward the source, each participates in this gruesome symphony, singing on from hymnals of biology, that where death is, there is life, and where life is, there is death. And so with ugliness and beauty, there is this macroscopic sight, not exaggerated in significance or in meaninglessness. The old lion, having gained his wisdom, loses himself and gains the jungle, but sometimes just wants a cup of coffee.
Hot damn. I'm loving it. Y'all loving it? This is only the beginning. All right. Jacob, come on up to the stage.
Zoosh. P comes with 4 p orbitals, 3, 2 p x's on Mucha axis. Or we can draw like this, on Hopper coming over, thrip, building up greater to remove axi and become perfection vehicle for no mistaken innards. Ooh, oxycule drinking on oot, ooh, why worthwhile, makes sense practicing. Higher porpoises swimming, ming twists, you can't really experience it unless you're on a magnetic field. Disruption is on the way to fording river made, praised by carving new avenues into another sideshows. Made fire cold, made Feist, no problem. Ionosphere kings, boxed circle, lines showing, stretching across forded 7 rivers. Broken boxers, orbited lithic septron, serve my kings like my lord. Aufbau, Baal, Liquor, boom, kinder liquor, thunder, getting like you like fuck waters, that's cool. 40 simmers down to smile to temper, precedes in order to correct. To be correct, pleasing breaths, breeds and feeds, calling down, perched around you in a chaos knot, uncalculable by computation, woven kite strings bundled in apartmentally center truth flex center truth flex center, slit them both, mifhem choke, artif floke, meserated on a horse, mule flip, grab my gore, move weight, mark my matter, move weight, start laughing, heart, mech away, are around away, found at the point of pushing, and helix around it, click, clack, lick, clow, lick, kick, clack, yam, kick, calp, poke, puck, puck, home, puck, puck, dear, sear, puck, mooks, sift, clap, mapped classics. More of a heat of formation of the coefficient minus my heated former aeration once again. This energy makes senses freelex, siphon on a siphon, if rewound back to the grove, hidden, Holland, the grove, broken, products subtracted, stolen, and taken to hoarding. Grove into brackets to keep me outside in the yon to the ying, not to the sayer more of the worst. Information not at interesting, more like she is glancing over to the screen. It is back, holding her back to my fingers, beckoning her to read it. Distraction is tractors, too much gravity away from this master, moving her sideways, grabbing right under. Millions of shivers breaking her waters. More like popping jawater, looking in cookbook like runs an incubator, moving as I write with its sliver, the tense slide sighted, it writhing boomer has whole hide expanded is never surmised, whole hide has bowers, more muck smoothed back lofa, bringa, brun, look at these galac word turks. Turtles made simple, made the wool trine hurt so I won't bring her out, plus unless she has foreign endeavors. She has half a heart, or at least we last whole. Holes in space voice. Void is greater than Belkin, me back to Samoric, volimic, she has no volimics. Life on a dime, rolling all the time, mastering time, making more time, fingering and lying, to make forts in September. Boys, no boys tonight, like, you're right, I'm in cool to plumb her. Moreover equals wasted, tied down by this love. Wasting love is having massaged name on this. She is reading this, she is peeking this over shoulder, fragmenting attention to waste the movement. Stopping and tearing should be right away. Again, she righted and needed some massage situation. She knows the inflicts, and she found these words. She is watches, the type is the lost in the data sphere. Nordic's jolly finger, born Hullivant's gaudy gator, gorseball, horseballs on horseback, knotted, entwining gouge until you're free. I'm dis-error mode, I'm quailing, equals chest emote, more and down the throat, nor towers having hydrogen reoxide ditactors. Drifting on drinking, she has plans for Bammer, monatomic zero, balanced in 69, not liking one of these is a negative. Speedo light is constitutively flux, habitual law, more of the feeling the megahertz vibrating over Calciniabur, minimum, mining, humming, min swooshing, gushing, Kool-Aid whores, no more norm, mom, mumpa, molostic, cock, cook, moped, feeling cloned. I'm simulated main, I'm hella blown away, turn off on a dime, found adentro calcetines den macaco, mestalevra perat kuchin chip, Zep is a nuclear charge and electron actually experiences. Diatomic number 3, better attraction to my nucleus, with lithium high nuke charstone traction, higher lower energy up on a energy fart and nucleus nut raw atom, mot 8 rewound, nutrition science, more accelerations, cruxions, crowning 4, you got to know that, 2 types of shields, inner lector and similar sameness, greatness outer and between the inner, More hard to move, re-envisioned in the same shell lit shield. Love is in the 2S. Shielding energy to remove it led to a lover's death. So fresh. Dark side of danger, my aunt's words to the yin awful duffel bag full of Japan. My Olan's filling to my hand, high waltzing, mic sucking like a finger. Sp orbital unfilled under P, order my P. Filing these 19s, 1S, and look it up for tomorrow, thank you. An electron is those orbitals, revolving Ming, Yan Dant, Yamin, lost electron, full of these, unsentiently empty. Mem learned, some crooks turn me, upside down, filling up my load energy, understanding how they do that. Fill it like this, 2P, fill up the third D like the Nike. A number of hydroelectrons piercing chaotic master-headed frameworker, mouthed on my feeder on 12 over the Gamornius auspicion. More given something comes from outside. Overlooked unfortunates enhance conduct. Ionosphere shell butt. Impurify facefuck. My holic destruct.
30 seconds.
Right on the dot. Good job.
Yep. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. I love it when they're right on the dime. Oops. Grabs. Having one of those days. All right. That was awesome. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, Will, it's your turn now.
Oh,
Come on, Will! All right. All right. What the fuck kind of support's that? Come on, let's get some fuck yeah. Let's get some applause. There we go. This guy's awesome. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
what's up? Love. So, like, usually, I don't know, my style's usually been like write like 2 or 3 like shorter-ish poems. I kind of wrote one longer one, I guess. And I just find it interesting where it started to where it ended. I just thought this was interesting. Fuck. I can't think of anything. Though thinking of that was thinking of something. Recognition of nothing as recognized, deluxe double. Fuck yeah, fries. Sometimes I think I've died inside, but I really just forgot that I've never been more alive. Never had more drive to survive, now I thrive. Emerald light abounds, positive vibes surround, and secrets continue to profound. The sting of solitaire pledge has still not lost its edge, but changing perspective is a good directive to one's objective, making change effective. Whoa. Mind blown, but I'm only reaping the seeds that I've sown. I'm only translating into human words all the things I've been shown. Curveballs thrown from the throne of the gods, hit it out of the park and see the gods nod. Respect is always earned. Seemingly difficult to learn, the burn of not receiving respect given fucking sucks. Picking your battles is more like picking where to give your fucks or to even give them at all. To just sit and sip your coffee and let Rome fall. It will, trust me. Whatever the Roman metaphor means to be attempted eloquently, I wonder if it comes off more pretentiously. But if you perceive pretension, that it's just my light's reflection off of your ethereal mirror. But has anything become clearer? I visit a seer every night in my dreams. I just don't think I'm deemed worthy to remember all of it. Yet I don't know, maybe not. Worth a shot. Guess it beats the rest of the alternatives. Mental self-sacrilege, package it, wrap it in 3 layers of plastic, and dick slap you with it. The scream's just a daily symphony of the people lined up for their lobotomies. Everyone is broken somewhere. Could be here or there. That's not what's at hand. You taking command of that realization. Supporting each other comes into the equation. Our thoughts are interwoven as fabric, collective thought energy like static. Can you feel it raising your arm hairs
and gaining insight to your petty cares, to those little energy flares, chakra imbalances, long stares for being one who dances, one who chances against life and death. Take a deep breath. And thank the goddess that it's not your last, that you haven't gotten lost to the demons in your past, the things you cast aside, the times your faith in humanity belied you and tried you had nothing to do with you, with anything true. Nothing to do with you, little hummingbird. When you cast light like this, you will get many broken reflections back. A fat stack of mirrors out of whack. There are many times when the weight's a bit heavy, but I just keep writing rhymes and keep rocking steady. Energy bursts forth like a cannon of confetti, flying through life like Mario Andretti. I'm ready for anything and down for whatever, so open up your mind and pull the fucking lever. Never winter, got a splinter. What the fuck is Tinder? Hindrance and evidence, circumspect back to respect, and the effect of getting wrecked, which demands a respect itself. Losing control is nothing to be taken lightly, rightly so. The same can be said for gaining. In a reality where truth is waning, society's self-shaming, prolific, shit's horrific, makes me sick, bite-sized pieces of politics, rhetoric ridiculous, revolution inconspicuous, trick you just tried, conviction in mind, eating a watermelon down to the rind. That kind of commitment can be hard to find. That particular tilt of mind can mean greatness, but watch out for fakeness. Know that it can't shake this awareness you've created. Obligated to make the haters feel deflated, I deflate them with love. For even a little is enough. When you've lived your whole life in the dark, even a matchstick can blind you. Remember Narrow Neck? Kind of like that, but with the third eye. Beautiful birds fly by and I'm super high flying with them. Fully embrace the earth mother's rhythm, never quitting, vision spitting. Well, I suppose I'll quit at the end of the page. 8.5 minutes is really only so long to rage. So take in sage smoke when you can. It's knowledge I seek. I'll be back next week with poetry unseen. So peace, love, unity, respect, motherfuckers. And stay classy, Eugene.
I love it. Especially what we were saying about match. About like, I don't know, it's a line about like matches, or even a match can blind someone who's never seen the light. That is badass. That really struck a chord for me. Just gotta say. Anyway, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Slash.
I'm gonna try this with the drum. Corrupted by a mindless centerfold of creases in an ever-ending piece of paper, they immune to seconds of every hour, running through fields of dreams. You have never been too far from my mind. The love I have for you gravitates through the universe that holds it all together, moving like an unstoppable fate, rushing over us faster than the speed of light, ready for anything, because no matter how great the battle, I will be with my true love. If I have to battle an ocean waves, go underwater in sea caves filled with one-eyed, six-legged sea creatures, up and around the coral reefs, I build a strong ship. I build it strong, battle the roughness of the sea, so I don't end up losing my true love. I am the captain of this ship, on an ocean of dreams, divided by what is real. For not into my ear you whispered, but into my heart. It was not my lips you kissed, but my soul, giving me balance of my chaotic split-up sideshow of that was called life. Tiny little sparks have generated my whole core of what is getting me through the days to come. And I and my love will finish off our days saying simple I love yous, giving us hope to move on to the next place that will recognize our love for eternity.
That really hit me right here. No, my heart.
Your heart's in your engaged.
Smart ass. Anyway, we've got someone who was just speaking, gave us that announcement about that awesome thing, the Festival of Eugene. Someone who has been coming to poetry events at Cush since before I was hosting. Someone named Steven. There we go. Being stubborn.
This is 8 minutes.
A little bit.
Running already?
No, it doesn't run until he starts reading. I give a little leeway when it comes to setting up.
How's that?
Guys.
Okay, let's see. For you new people who haven't heard my stuff before, I'm C. Stephen Blue. This is the title poem from my chapbook, Wild Weed. My stuff is rough. It's bare bones. I hate to answer telephones. I want to look you in the eyes when we speak. But there ain't no use in this fast-paced world to ride a horse or court a girl. If you take your time to get there, she's just moved on. And what becomes of the alley cat on the night of the hard-driving rain, when the lightning speaks loud and everyone crowds in the shelter of warm window panes? I live my life in a pot-bellied stove. I'm an oak tree with ages to tell. I'm the earthquake commander, a green salamander, a salesman with nothing to sell. But did you see me on the night of the new, when everything changed in an instant? The air was so clean and the grass was so green that a new age did not seem so distant. In the quiet, an angel calls, awakened by the engine stalls of the inner city, pondering its sleep. The dream is a draftsman, a hill-dwelling craftsman, a step in a puddle on the road to forever, and life is a boat in a great castle moat. We all circle, yet must row together. Now is then, and yesterday's tomorrow. But how can we live it like we mean it, when we're running so fast that the race cannot last, and the space in between lies unseen? Or is that to lay in a meadow and ponder the meaning of the wild blue yonder? The stars at night or a daffodil? The momentum is great as it rolls down the hill of imagination gone to seed. I'm a wild weed. Why do I feel so safe in the rain and long to sit behind waterfalls? I gaze at blue crystal, I tell tattered tales, and listen when eternity calls. Maybe this just goes on and on, or maybe the hunger can't fathom the dawn. It's the spark in the dark behind your eyes when you sleep just a moment, and then it is gone, and you weep. Sheltering skies pour forth from your eyes and germinate the seed of my fast-growing need. I'm a wild weed. Yes, I'm a wild weed. take my turn.
Oh yeah, that was better than Joe did. That was fucking awesome. Fuck yeah! Yeah! Oh man, it has been a good night. Someone has been messing with my mic stand. Look at that. What's going on here? Yeah. Yeah. Little left to do for now.
Want me to fix it? Yeah.
Nah. Nah. Oh, let's give someone an earful later. This fella's pretty tall anyway. This new fella is his first time here. So give him a listen. Give him an ear. Come on up to the stage, Brian.
Why, of course.
What an act to follow, right? So, sit on a riverbank and light up a spliff, and just begin to think and write what you see. As the river gurgles its way down rickety rock steps, hawks and herons swoop by, sandwiched by clouds languorous in the sky, and wandering little humblebees collect their lunch from aspiring flowers on the shore, against which the tide repeats a steady slap. Trucks and cars go hurriedly on, a whooshing whisper from the overpass, crisscrossing each other against the monolithic backdrop of distance-hazed mountains. Be still and let thoughts seize and breathe. Witness the sun-bathed flowers reaching their fractal faces to the heavens. But do not forget about the solipsizing eye, the observer that changes by being a part of the scene. He sits cross-legged and startles a fly, and any pedestrians shoving through the underbrush would probably stop and consider, who is this guy? Suddenly, the scene is not just herons, bees, and trees, but also these people taking up space. Then consider the perspective of the other. Don't be misled by the illusion of individuality. All human experience is a poetic expression, a divine continuation of the whirling cosmic dance, which goes all around us and through us and is us. There we go. Now you're being a good mic stand. He was being a naughty mic stand earlier, making my job difficult. Oh, wow. Let's see.
My fault.
Looks like we're at the halfway point. Ain't that a trip?
Halfway.
It always goes by so slow. So, yeah, let's do a stretch. All right. Last week I made you do this one, so let's do it again. Take me out to the page 2 poetry at Cush. Take me out to the new routine. Get the new host who's kind of sloppy. He's handsome and cool, and you guys are awesome. Now sit the fuck back down. And by the way, Mo, it's your turn. Oh yeah! This will be awesome. One more time. Fuck yeah!
She's just trying to build the tension.
Yeah, it's not really
Suspense.
I was going to say, I was thinking tonight about how much different I write than so many of the young poets, and I think I've decided I'm a portraiture poet right now. So this poem is a portrait, and it is a love poem to my sister Kathy, who is here from San Diego. And my little And so I wanted that to be there, so all three of us will be here. So that's the fun. Okay. Being a big sissy ain't for the faint of heart. You don't get to quit being a big sister as long as you have little sisters. You may want to, and from time to time you have tried sabbaticals. The knots are tied so frustratingly tight. I wonder if it's a cosmic claustrophobia, an incarceration or sentence of sorts, being the older, the protector. You have to be pseudo-mama, and little sisters by definition yank away the hardest when being shepherded. You haven't always wanted to be, well, maybe you did when we were kids and you got to be bossy and long-suffering and a bit more distant, but like it or not, you are our alpha female. You have fought to stay in balance, but we know there is an unpredictable shifting of power in families as out of sync as ours has always been. You were our exotic force field who married dangerously young, then got to go to Woodstock and live in Peter Max colored communes. Let's face it though, there is no black light paint that can cover the guilt of leaving little bird sisters behind in such a poorly attended nest. How dare you fly off and leave us? What is the toll on a girl who tries to take wing and force distance between herself and insanity? She has no real choice except to fly with her face most often turned back toward home. That is a kind of sorrow, a self-inflicted penance no drug could dull. 3 musketeers? Is there a past tense musketeer? Yes, things get way off script for us. Now, most times only 2 who switch allegiances, less and less. Musical chair sisters, us. It is said a strand of 3 is hard to rip apart, but I don't think that's true, do you? The constant dripping of tears wears even the strongest of fabrics to the breaking point. I just noticed that tears from our eyes and tears in our fabric are the same word. Shredding and shedding. Professional whaler, you. Not by choice, but it's as if it was the family business forced upon you. Or maybe all of our collective worried DNA squeezed you into a box, which is harder to climb out of as you age and our connection becomes more brittle. There is more and more to fret over and less returns as goodness. And it is seldom safe. Expected and rejected at the same time, whaling is a thankless job. Sometimes I think you can't help it. You love like it is a wound, a gash even, and your job is to run around putting tourniquets on everything. Love rips at you each day like 1,000 little paper cuts. You can't lick our wounds or sew us up or carry us off in your kitten mama mouth. You must watch from a distance. Sometimes you have the eyes of a more primal primate, a sorrowful gorilla or puzzled orangutan, looking around and seeing so much pain and chaos and knowing no amount of screaming or chest beating or teeth baring can fix the brokenness. But it may be truest of sadnesses that we cannot always choose whom we love in the deepest caverns of our heart and soul. The giving of our hearts is a hub, and hubs do not get to move in as big a circle as spokes, the taking of love. I suspect this giving hub is more dizzying, speeding around and around, holding everything in its proper place. Hub love is an action verb, the essence of true love. You remind me of this when I forget. We have loved over and over, tumbling and fervent little girls who screamed and scratched and pinched and punched, grew up to scream and scratch and speak and cry. We learned to use our words way more effectively than our fists and landed so many well-placed blows. I know loving the hardest of ways has left you wondering if you are some kind of shapeless shoe worn on a too long journey, happily removed. In what fifth dimension would that be true? Believe this at least right now, okay? You are my constellation. I search for you in my skies when I'm afraid. You are my rock to stand on and to hide under. My inhale and exhale even. The sticky thickness and warmth of blood glues us together. You have been life to me too many times to count. Our bond is forged of iron and glitter and pennies and soil and sweat and miles crossed and telephone bills. This is no tale of sadness and woe, ours. No dirge, no Greek tragedy of Greek proportions. Consider this, to be someone's treasure, someone's diamond girl. This must calm your spirit when the madness settles like fog so unexpectedly and unceremoniously. Being a big sister is not for the faint of heart. But being the little sister who loves you isn't. But it is enough. The universe has gifted us beyond measure.
Oh yeah. I love that. My heart just keeps getting touched all night. I might have to get tested for that. I'm kidding. I totally have to. But yeah. No, if I was born a girl, I'd be a little sister. But I'm a little brother. And my big brother is not big brother. So don't worry. That's not an aw moment.
Ouch.
That's more like
Ouch.
it. Anyway, someone very special to me is coming to read a grand
Is he here?
poem for you, the lovely, compassionate, ever vigilant audience. My darling Bridget.
Okay, closer? Closer. Okay. So this one was kind of an experimental poem. Someone wanted me to write about a little boy and wanted me to make it creepy. And it kind of turned out being more disturbing than it did creepy. So this one's called Little Boy in the Basement. A good day at school, there are only a few. As I head home, I begin to roam to the store down the street for a good boy treat. And as I head home, I see a man forlorn, trying to lift a bag into the car that's too heavy by far. So I offer my assistance. He gives me a quick glance from head to toe. Oh, if only I had known what kind of man he truly was. As I lifted this bag, it was a simple shove, and the last thing I heard was the click of his trunk. As my eyes fluttered open, I almost wanted to choke then. It was dark and dingy place, and all I could see was a face. And as he came closer, I just wanted it to be over, safe at home in my bed without these thoughts in my head. I've been here for a month now, and he just uses my rump and makes me talk for hours and makes me give him flowers. I think I've lost all hope that I'll ever make it home.
Wow.
Let the tension sit.
Yeah, just let it fester a little bit.
Stop it.
Like I said, it was kind of a, experimental poem. They weren't quite expecting it either, to be honest. Okay, so this one is called Fade Away. And I wrote it when I was like 16. And I think it was honestly just about 16-year-old drama at the time. I can't really remember. To fade away into the mist, a place I'll go to not be missed. Until forgotten is my life, I'll cry into the night. I'll hide away in the mist, hidden deep in quiet bliss. I'll cry and moan for forgotten times, hidden away in my secret mind, lost forever in the web of time, my love, my hate, even my life. My being and body shall forever lie under the dirt which I call time. With the mist that shrouds my mind, I am forgotten, I am lost in this place to forever be forgotten.
Oh.
No, I ran.
Hey, Bridget.
What?
Look what I wrote. Look what I wrote on my arm.
Oh.
Tattoo it there.
No,
You're fine.
that's bad luck.
That's a bad idea.
That is bad form.
We
You
can't be
didn't.
together forever.
Yeah, human skin is like the Death Note. If anyone's familiar with that. Yeah. Yeah, don't tattoo anyone's name on you unless they're already dead. Otherwise, you're cursed forever. I don't know. I wish I heard more creepy poetry. I'm not gonna lie. But frankly, I'm happy I hear all of this poetry because it's like a mixed bag of delicious candies and foods, and it's so yummy to my soul. Anyway, I've said my piece. Now it's Anna's turn to say hers.
Letting go of honest feelings. Your beat is so real. Hold your hands tighter. Fart louder. Captivate ego, let go. Scared to see all the love. Dissolve mixture and diet the ether. Use 1/2 of extract twice with 1.5 moles of hydrogen chloride, extract organic phase, ABN, final goes to arrow BGM, NaOH, aqueous means sodium hydroxide, aqueous, and ice, 4 parameters for each proton. Solutions, homework solutions, ace of diamonds, any ace, flash, 4 kinds of flashes, 4 times 13, exclamation mark. It says that in the math problem, guys. Here, yes, here, sunbathing, philtrum equals my 3rd nipple, dip, arrow. Water waves through the channels very quickly. Water always comes from higher to lower potential. Potential, pressure, potential, flaccid, turgid, tension, potential, or osmotic potential, pink range, negative or 0, or purple water. Test the answers. How does he do that? Speak of life. Better than this environmental teacher, scientist. Joe understand, comprende.
Comprende.
Abilities, if round no, I make sweetness sentences with I, the subject of ego, first dimensional.
Yeah.
And here's valence electrons, outermost electrons. For fluorine, you had The atomic number is 9, so that means you have 9 protons and 9 neutrons. No, 9 protons, and then you have 9 electrons to balance it out, so it's neutral. That's why you have protons and neutrons in the nucleus. So if you have fluoride number 9, you find the, what is that called? Anyone know? It's called the isotropic series. It's called the group 1A, 1 valence electrons. It's the valence electrons, the outermost valence electrons. Teacher, can you please explain what you mean by outermost? Well, yeah, so the 1s orbital, oh gosh, that is not what I wanted, dude. All right, mister, well, like I was saying, fluorine, you think it's elemental letter F. There's s orbitals, p orbitals, d orbitals, f orbitals, all in these little electrons. Electrons are flying through the air. They're sometimes referred to as negative ions. Ions are electrons. Ions are elements with a charge. Not all elements have a charge. And an equation, a chemical equation. You know what a combustion reaction is? I'm just going to share with you my class for free. Combustion reaction, it's combined with O2, oxygen, you breathe in O2, 2 molecules, yes.
What is the outermost?
The outermost, yeah, good point. Oh gosh, the staying on track thing, you know, the focus, the whatever they want to call it, outermost. It's the shell, the last electron in its space. Like farthest part, you know, like solar systems, that's what I think about it. It's like, you know, Pluto, if you call that a planet or not. Don't get too emotionally attached to it. Structure determines reactivity. Look at brainiac.com, that's what my teacher says. Structure determines reactivity. Your structure determines reactivity.
Yeah.
How close the neutrons are to the protons. It matters how stable or unstable you are. If you need a friend, you need to share electrons. You need to give and you need to receive. You're an agent. You're oxidizing. You're reducing. You're losing. You're gaining. You're coming to a balance. Oh, I kind of feel like Jacob when I do this. That's all I got.
All right, Anna.
I hope you all studied for the test. There will be a pop quiz later.
Pop quiz.
That's fantastic. I love learning new things.
It's the outermost.
Very interesting. So I have some news for you. There's only 3 poets left. Yeah, I know. Then you gotta wait a whole nother week. And one of those poets, oh, he's been an audience member plenty of times, but now he's a performer. And it's his first time, and his name is Steve. So,
That's what it looks like back there. As high as it goes.
You can do it higher. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there. First off, thanks everyone for letting me just lurk back there and nobody ever pushing me into doing this before I was ready. Appreciate it. This one is about love loss. My grandfather, who was a coal miner in West Virginia and died of black lung, and my time fracking oil in North Dakota. Yeah. No applause for fracking oil? The repeating line here is from an old coal miner song. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Nerve damage in my feet. In the early years of the 20th century, a new type of corporate structure emerges, the dawn of the company town. Then I loved getting foot rubs. Now I can't even tell when a woman is touching my soul. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Several new addictions. In the company town, men lived buying food at the company store and paying rent to the company landlords. Then I'd call, just a reminder that I loved her. Now she's learned to stop answering my calls. I only call drunk to curse her for leaving me. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Frostbite in my fingers. These companies paid the employees in credit. The credit was redeemable only at the company store. Then my elation, the sensation, the feeling, the flesh soft and warm, tracing invisible pictures on the small of her back. Now I feel numb, nothing. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Emotionally imbalanced. The company paid slightly less credit than the cost of living. This caused the worker to become indebted to the company store. Then I held you. We were as babes, safe, warm, careless. Now I sit in my truck, out scream freezing winds, my throat so torn I make no sound. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Free. The men could not leave, so indebted to the hand that feeds, they could not afford to. They had no choice but to live the remainder of their lives in the trap that was the company town, hoping only their sons would find a way out. Then I owed to the school. Now my fingers don't bend quite right and I can't hold a pen. Then I owed to the hospitals. Now I stumble a little when I walk. Then I owed to the creditors. Now it's all zero sum. Then I owed to the Internal Revenue Service. Now I can't fall asleep without a few drinks, but at least I don't owe a damn thing to any man. Cheers.
So good. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Yes. Oh yes. So Blake, you came here a little later, but did you know you're the penultimate poet? Yes, that is true. It's all absolutely true. Yes. So, let's give it your ears.
Could you raise this just a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Here, hold on. Perfect.
Cool.
Ready?
Man, the poetry tonight has just been fantastic. Okay, I wrote this morning, waking nauseous. As I have been waking a lot. Okay. To the collective tenants of my small intestine, my large intestine, my kidney, colon, and spleen. Thank you for the business, but this is your official notice of eviction. As you know, I have not received rent for the entirety of your period, the past 4 months, and have had enough. This relationship has been anything but reciprocal, pained, drawn out, you might even say parasitic. Yeah. I'm wise to your tricks, your avoidances, quite cunning, really. Acting like you're not even there, not receiving emails and my prayers, hearing my qigong knocks, or noticing my mindful strolls around the property. It's gotten a bit old, really. As if you're on vacation. I've had enough. I've had enough. So in this letter, I formally present to you your letter of eviction. Effective now. Well, you have 10 days. 10 days to vacate the property. The big boys over at Flagell Anti-Bio are going to be doing some remodeling, some renovating, revivify the place, you know? Bring in more of a youth crowd. Oh, Blake, how could you have let it go to such a waste? The grass gone, the veggies limping, the ponds of probies.
practically sizzling. I'm thinking it's high time to listen to my shrink and start over. Bulldoze the place and build from the ground up. Bring in the kale, the herbs, the young crowd down from lactose syllabus who actually give a shit about community. It's so ridiculous. The wife is right. No more burnouts. No more fucking burnouts. I've had enough. It's nothing personal. Your type just never fit in. It never fit into this community, and yet you stuck around the longest. What was with that? I'm getting sidetracked. This letter's to tell you what you already know. Enough's enough. I mean, I sleep and wake late, hardly go outside, just spend the day drinking cold chamomile in the corner of my depressed universe. Without your rent, I can't even afford therapy. I resort to cold coffee houses and musky open mics to slow drip my woes. Just kidding, I love this place. This letter's gotten increasingly personal. But let's just lay it all out. No secrets. I've been reading New Age books, and now I'm empowered. I'm empowered as a renter, a gardener, and an archetype of a new breed of eco-communities. My health and wealth are coming. But first I gotta level the place. Out with the bad and in with the rad. But how did I let it get this bad? I was so stripped of cash, clarity, emotional well-being. You took advantage of the situation, motherfucker, sniffing out my vulnerability, and I let you turn over what was really quite pleasant into a parasite palace. It kept me up at night feeling you rave and rage all night to Metallica and Iggy Pop, smashing over the eggs you've been growing in that storehouse you carved, that you've snuck all your friends in from the cracks and crevices of the forsaken world to flip some fungal funk. Fuck you. I swarm, scheme, even speak like a worm now. Look, we might have served each other for a quick moment there. Thought it could work out. But that moment melted damn near immediately into a sea of despondency. So ask yourself, with this enemic stick up your ass, are you happy? Were you ever happy? Are you okay with this much apple cider vinegar, papaya seeds, and clove upon clove of garlic? I'm not. We were just sort of putting up with each other out of convenience and circumstance. Had plenty of worldly things to distract us from what really mattered. And now I don't want to end it any worse than it's already been. I understand your situation. I've been a good host. I even empathize with it. But I can't go on any longer. I called the bad boys at Flagels today, and the dozer's on its way. I'm so nauseous. And until you sign and resign, there'll be knock, knock, knocking 3 times a day with your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I hear now the honey hum of that sweet medicine now. Oh, hark the angels, the rising dawn of renewal. I'm almost nauseous with butterflies. So, in conclusion, Mr. Asorbata, Miss Klebsiella, Mr. Lacocucus, and of course, Mr. Pseudomonas fragi. Fuck you. I love you. Thank you. Be on your way immediately, gracefully, but with peace and ease, and with any luck by fall, we'll find houses we can call true homes. Sincerely, your body. Thank you guys. Also, I'm gonna go see the doctor like tomorrow in Portland, and I need a ride. So, okay. Thank you guys.
Yeah, no, give this man a ride. I mean, 'cause that sounds very serious. So, it's been a very, very interesting night, and it always is. But this night's been, I love the variety every week. Every week, it's like a spice rack of poetry. And of course, you know, and then it's also like a bunch of the proper meals to put the spices on too, you know, so it's not like I'm just putting it all in a bowl and trying to drink it, you know, I mean, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Do you know that? You guys get it?
Yeah.
Fucking get it? Fuck yeah. So, we've got one final poet.
Come on.
And that's poet is Joshua. Joshua. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Hey. Fuck with the microphone.
I don't even know.
Okay, you guys can hear me. Notice no paper, no computer. I'm gonna do something off the top of my head. As you guys know, we just had the Oregon Country Fair. I'm the master of ceremonies on the Gypsy Caravan belly dance stage. I do Il Hakim Ekelin Wasailan, the dance of life, etc., etc. Friday night, we do a show for all the people at the fair, and we start off with a story that I read to them, that I recite to them. My dear friend Anna was there. My good friend Jacob was there. Cy missed it. I ran into them at the fair, but they missed the story. So, James, today I am going to break the rules.
Oh, really?
Today I am going to recite a poem written by someone else.
Is it tabby written? Not tabby written, is it?
No, of course
No,
not.
Then you're not breaking any rules.
I'm not breaking any rules. I'm going to give you the tale the hermit told.
Let's hear it.
It was one afternoon when I was young, in a village near here, which no one now remembers. But I will tell you, it was an afternoon of fiesta. The bells of the hermitage echoing in the mountains, and a buzz of voices and dogs barking. Some said it could all be heard as far away as Calatayud. I was a boy then, though at that perilous point when tiny things could terrify and amaze me. The dust in the village square had been watered down, and we waited, laughing and jostling the satin rumps of the gypsy dancers. Across from us, the girls, all lace and frills, fluttered like tissue paper. Then, at a signal, as the charcoal burner's dog rolled over and over, shedding its ribbons, the village band blundered into tune, and the day began. The dancing dizzied me. There was one gypsy, unlike the others, tall, who spun on her feet, laughing to herself, lost in her own amazement. I watched her as though in a dream. All round, my uncles and the other men were calling "Ole," while the women tittered and pouted. There were more feet than shoes, more wine than glasses, more kisses than lips. The sun was burning. Next came a magician, an ugly, sly-eyed man not from our district. "Fiesta, fiesta," he called. Then, chanting a kind of spell, he swore he would conjure a live dove out of the air. I saw the dove's wing peeping from his pocket. So I wandered away, hating the sound of him among the tables heavy with food and wine. And there was the gypsy girl, standing alone, head turned away to listen as though she heard bells in the hills. She saw me, and her eyes, which were azure, not black, mocked me. I could not stop looking. Lightly, she danced across and, keeping her eyes on mine, poured out a glass of golden wine and put it before me. I glanced from her eyes into the wine. In it, the sun was a small gold coin. The people looked like nuts. The band were brass buttons. The towering mountains, the size of pebbles. The houses, matchboxes about a thumbnail square. A miniature magician was letting loose a dove which floated upwards. And there, in that golden glass-held afternoon, were those mocking eyes. Time, in that moment, hung upside down. In a gulp, I drank the wine. What happened next? Ah, you must listen. Goggling boys, girls, band, gypsies, village, dogs, all rolled down my throat. Even the music glugged once and was gone. I was standing nowhere, horrified, alone, waiting for her eyes to appear and laugh the afternoon back. But nothing happened or moved. Nothing. 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 All that night I lay in a clump of pines and seemed to hear the hunters with their dogs, unribboned now, closing to flush me out. All the next day I tried to wish the village back, to vomit the wine, to free the white dove and the music. I could not. And as time passed, I lived on bitter nuts and barks and grasses and grew used to the woods. I'm still here on this barren mountainside. The years are nothing. Yet I am sure of this, that somewhere in my body there is a fiesta with ribboned dogs, balloons, and children dancing in a lost village that only I remember. Often I have visions and I hear voices I know call out to me. Was it the false magician who tempted me to magic? Or was it the gypsy girl who dropped her eyes in a glass and asked me to work wonders? Even now, in age, I wait to see her. Still a girl, comes spiraling through the woods, bringing her mystery to me, and with her eyes, teaching me to undream myself and be a boy again, believing in a dove made out of air that circles overhead in the lost afternoon of fiesta.
Wow. What an ending. What an ending. God, what a visual tour de France or whatever. The funny thing is that sometimes even poets don't know how to use their words. But goddamn, he sure does. So do all of you. You guys rock. This rocks. I'm James Otter. You can find me on Facebook. If you care to stalk me out, or seek me out, seek me out, stalk me out, same thing. There's a weekly events page I put up. It's public. You can also search for that on Facebook, the page II Poetry. I'm going to put that up tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Invite all your friends. Fill this place up. Make us stand on top of each other. Anyway, thank y'all for coming. Hope to see y'all next week. And bring it on, world. And one last time, let's say it all together, all at once. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! See y'all later.